WHO has announced that the COVID health emergency is finally officially over. But when one door closes, another opens. And there's a whole new slew of health emergencies taking its place. From fat old perverts flashing your children in public bathrooms, to government censoring any and all opposition, to the social contagion of women believing they have any utility outside of the kitchen. Relax, I'm just kidding. Most women are shit cooks too. This week, we cover the issues that creep up in a society when we spend a prolonged period of time rewarding losers and nut jobs for their irrational fears of imaginary boogeymen. When crazy becomes currency, the dark corners of the human mind move to center stage. Nobody puts crazy in a corner. And the dirty, deranged dancer headlining this week's freak show is this guy. This is Jordan Neely, a homeless Michael Jackson impersonator out of New York. His performances have captured the hearts and minds of New York subway riders for years, and it's easy to see why.
He was the most passive, beautifully a gentleman, and you know, this is consistently. I've never seen him aggressive. I've never seen him have a problem with the public. And what Jordan did, he gave freely to the city of New York and brought nothing but joy to this town for decades.
But there was just one problem with Neely's performance. The intermission typically consisted of him threatening and physically assaulting innocent bystanders. Behavior he would engage in for a final time last week, as one brave passenger, an ex-Marine by the name of Daniel Penny, finally stepped in and did what city officials across the country refused to do. He introduced Jordan to the consequences of his actions, which in this case was putting him in a chokehold that would ultimately result in his death. Now, of course, while this is the 27th New York subway death since 2020, the Useful Idiot Brigade has awakened from their sympathy slumber to demand justice for Jordan. They're once again marching the streets, holding up commuters by standing on train tracks, and flooding social media comment sections with comments like this. I made numerous attempts to watch the video, but I just can't bear it. I am overwhelmed from what I see daily on social media platforms in terms of violence. There is a great deal of hatred and xenophobia in our society, which pains me as a minority. This man didn't deserve to die. In many ways, the system failed him, communities failed him, his family failed him too. He was far too young to leave this world and meet his fate in such a cruel, inhumane manner. And here we have what appears to be an entitled vigilante lacking empathy, critical thinking skills, and rationale, who should be behind bars facing an arraignment for homicide. Mayor Adams made a pitiful response on CNN to what happened. So did Governor Hochul. I am ashamed of both. Justice is what is needed for this victim, certainly not posturing or assigning blame to the victim. What is wrong with people? Funny how he shames the system, the community, his family, and the mayor, but doesn't shame the criminal. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But fool me thrice, and a statue goes up in your honor. Of course, it wouldn't be a story without AOC's 2 cents. She claims that the deranged bum was murdered for crying for food. Jordan Neely was murdered, but because Jordan was houseless and crying for food in a time when the city is raising rents and stripping services to militarize itself while many in power demonize the poor, the murderer gets protected with passive headlines plus no charges. It's disgusting. That bitch is evil. Now, I gotta ask, where were the bleeding heart liberals when 32-year-old soccer player Akeem Loney was stabbed to death while sleeping on a New York train in 2021? Oh, that's right, his life didn't matter because it was taken by another talented dancer. I mean, honestly, the whole thing is probably a false flag, but that doesn't mean the sentiment isn't very real. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The message is very clear. Defund the police because they're inherently racist, but don't protect yourself because that's murder, and also don't run away because white flight is a microaggression. And we don't take too kindly to microaggressions around here. We much prefer straight up aggression. As long as it's committed by a member of the protected class, of course.
You try to encroach upon any one of us, we laying you the fuck down. They didn't learn after George Floyd. They didn't learn. My body count is established. Look it up. Criminal court, murder, 42nd Street, 1984. Look it up. That's me. 35 years. We ain't taking this shit no more.
Did he just say he murdered somebody?
The following tweet sums up the goal quite perfectly. Exactly. And those saying his actions led to his demise are missing the point. We can't allow folks to defend themselves with deadly force. Whether it's a gun or a chokehold, these kinds of self-defense techniques are unacceptable. In other words, you deserve your own genocide, so take it lying down. According to an old Reddit post, Jordan Neely had been terrorizing New York subway riders for over a decade before somebody finally stepped in. He had 42 prior arrests before he met his maker on May 1st. In November of 2021, he was arrested for punching an elderly woman in the face, breaking her nose, and fracturing her orbital bone. In June of 2019, he was arrested for punching a 64-year-old man in the face. And in 2015, he was arrested for kidnapping a 7-year-old girl. And the man who finally stepped in to end his reign of terror isn't being honored as a hero, he's being charged with manslaughter. A tragic outcome I want you to remember the next time you see a video like this, and think to yourself, why didn't anyone step in to help?
The word chill pill.
Oh.
The word chill pill.
Oh. Listen, yo, you wildin'. She a female.
Mind your business.
What?
Mind your business. Say it again.
That's OD.
Say it again.
That's
Say it
OD.
again. I'm tired of you niggas in my black business. You understand? Mind your business.
What?
I'm a suspect. You understand?
Oh no.
Suspect. I do shit out here.
This is not.
Mind your business. And when my family on the train,
You wanna rock the
move
nigga so
out
bad.
the way.
And it's like you.
Alright guys, that's it for me today. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out some other videos from my channel. I will see you all next week for the next weekly roundup. Bye!